My name is Musitana Ramokoyen. Yeah, my job is to market wool and mohair, Lesotho wool and mohair. This is part of the government. Okay, livestock products marketing services. We have got to make sure that we are not below the quantities that cannot supply the market.
I am Mabatun Teja, and obviously I'm working in this office of range management. It's called Range Resources Management in actual fact, and we are under the Ministry of Forestry and Land Reclamation. Actually, our mandate or our work is to advise them into sustainable use of those resources.
To minimize the marketing costs, the farmers were built into groups, and those groups are Wool and Mohair Growers Association. But yeah, quality is very important. So every time after they get their money, we go to the Lesotho National Wool and Mohair Growers Association and tell them a certain district did not do well because of this element of quality. And from there, we go deeper into the association and say this association is the culprit of a certain element in quality. We even go to individuals to try to stress that.
Okay, we have other stakeholders in line, like the local government. We work together with the community councils because they are the ones who are responsible for the sea rangeland, which is the rangeland closer to the homestays, to the villages. And we have got the principal chief and also the chief areas who are responsible for the rangeland in the cattle post. Like we have here in Lesotho, we have divided the rangeland into the A and the B, which A is for the summer grazing and B is for the winter grazing, and we have the C rangeland, which is this one within the jurisdiction of the community councils. And we also advise or educate the users themselves. Like you are saying, with the associations, with the livestock owners, we normally tell them to form associations because it is easier to manage people together. Like I said, as the ministry, what we do ourselves is just to advise. We don't have we can enforce the local communities or the chiefs to tell the livestock owners on how to manage their rangelands here at sea rangeland. But what we do is just to advise the community councils. We advise the chiefs, but if they can't take our advice, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, Mokhotlong has the highest quality because their pastures are very good, and Mokhotlong people understand that they are living on sheep. As you can see, if you can compare, Mokhotlong doesn't have a lot of field on steep mountains, but for other districts they've got those. So a pasture control in Mokhotlong is higher.
In actual fact, the qualities of our rangelands is really declining, whereby we are trying to rehabilitate the rangelands by doing the reseeding activities and also controlling the erosion, and also carrying out the erosion control measures like reclaiming of tongas and the other symptoms that we can see. The main cause of erosion here, it's overstocking, overgrazing. It is also, the quality also is affected because you find if there are invaders, that would mean there are those, what is coming up now on our rangelands are those grasses which are no longer palatable to the animals, they are no longer nutritive, and this as a result affects the quality of the products we are looking for in the animals, which is mohair, which is wool, which is meat, which is milk. We see that at the end we'll end up having nothing in terms of animals.
Yeah, it's true that I said comparatively, Mokhotlong pastures are better than in other places. Comparatively, I don't mean that there is no erosion in Mokhotlong caused by misuse of pastures or buildings that are encroaching into the pasture. Yeah, that is there. And the Ministry of Local Government and the farmers are really working on that now. I think the Ministry of Land Reclamation, yeah, farmers are working very close with them, because you can have range, but the quality of range can be very low. From what I know, this was an American project, which was mainly interested in improving the pastures. They started building what we call grazing associations. On top of my head, I can remember 6. In Scotland, there was 1. In Malifilwan, a grazing association. But at the moment, you cannot see a fence, you cannot see anything. Yeah. Now, farmers who didn't want to join the grazing association started cutting the fences and burning the fire and doing all sorts of things, vandalism. Anyway, in other places like Sihlabatebe, the project worked quite well for about 15-20 years or so. But it was under the intensive care of the government. The government also had to spend some money, especially on personnel who were there. At the moment, it's no more there as well. Now, when these projects were working, the farmers were not spending any money on supplementary feeding, because the pastures were good. I mean, the pastures were not planted anything. They were just rotating the animals from this paddock to that one, from this paddock again. They were also very particular about a number of animals in the pasture. Now, when those projects were working, I can also remember, the figures were very high. Production figures were high for wool and mohair, and also for a number of lambs or kids that were given. So there was a lot of improvement, just because of improving range only. Most of them were vandalized after the funds were exhausted. The government was not able to support the projects by personnel, to hire people to stay there.
We have an association there which is called the Gestion. It hasn't done much. Okay. There are still some problems here and there we are working on. In actual fact, there is an association, but there isn't anything achievable they have reached yet. Actually, it's like there isn't a good relationship between the association members and the local government people, like for instance the community councils. The problems, I think the problems only lies in the people who have more power. Like I said, the community councils and the principal chiefs together with the other village chiefs. Some of them are the livestock owners, and they believe if they take the animals back to the A or C rangeland, to the A or B rangeland, the animals aren't safe, because we normally have heavy snows here in Poto, and sometimes they raise the problem of thieves